to another FSU Esports Player Spotlight. I'm Austin, and today I will be interviewing Jacob from the Garnet Hearthstone team. So hi, Jacob. How you doing?
Hello. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
That's good.
Good to have you here, yeah.
Oh,
So,
yes. All right. Well, as you've already mentioned, my name's Jacob. Normally in the gaming community, I'm known as Gummbii, named after this little fella. I got some sticky notes on him right now, so I can't really show you the whole thing. But yeah, like I'm an avid strategy game player. Play a lot of Hearthstone, play a lot of Magic, and I gotta say I'm quite proficient at TFT as well. I'm about to hit masters in that.
ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, so where was like your initial start with gaming? Like, what was like the first video game that you ever played?
Oh man, I started with the basics. It's like Pokemon and everything. But I grew up in like a small town, so there wasn't too much to do. But like we got really into like a lot of card games. So I started going to shops to play Yu-Gi-Oh, and that moved me over to Magic the Gathering, which I played competitively for like limited events for years. But I felt like I just needed more. Like I always had that like hunger to always be playing something else. And at one of the tournaments, someone introduced me to Hearthstone, and I was hooked for since the original Old Gods set, which must have been about 2014, 2015.
Yeah, that was the year like 1, year 2 or something like that.
Yeah,
That
I've
was the
been
first
I've been
like,
here for a while. I
yeah.
remember like Pavel winning, which
Oh
was the
yeah,
coolest thing
yeah.
ever. Yeah, that's when I started, right around Pavel's
Okay,
his
yeah.
gross pyroblast win.
hmm So you talked a lot about like how you played Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
how, like, I know those are different games, but they're still card games. So how much does that like skill transfer over from those games to like now playing a lot of Hearthstone?
I feel you learn like the ebb and flow of card games, and that translates very well. Even with the different rules, you know when to save your sources, when to really go in, like what are your power turns and everything. So it really translates in more of a game approach than necessarily how you're going to be playing every card. But you tend to learn that, and that will translate very nicely.
So switching gears a little bit, when did you join the club?
I joined the club my freshman year, which would have been 2018. We were transitioning from the League of Legends club. I think you remember because we
Yeah,
played
yeah.
same team originally. And it was a lot smaller at the time, but we were able to do like good things that year. Like we made it to playoffs and everything the second semester, and it was a very enjoyable time. But definitely smaller, very different vibe going on now. It's a lot better. There's more
Yeah,
meat to the club.
yeah, I was gonna say, especially recently, our club and the Hearthstone team specifically
Hmm.
has like really stepped up its game. So it's like
Yeah.
really fun to see. So the new Hearthstone expansion just came out. Do
Hmm.
you want to talk a little bit about that? Like, what have you been playing? What are some of
Oh,
like your favorite
yes.
things so far?
Right. So the expansion that just came out kind of hints back to, not more than hints,
hmm
back to when I got started. My first set was Old Gods, and now we're back to the same characters showing up. So I've been really playing a lot just to see everything and kind of have that same feel of the game back is wonderful because that's the Hearthstone I like grew to love. Like that was, in my opinion, like one of the best sets ever. I'm a shaman main, so I've been doing a lot of shaman, even if it's not always as good as the other classes, but I've been playing a lot of totem shaman, evolve, and control, and then throwing in just some other more fun decks in there as well. Hmm.
Yeah, I've actually I was playing like some warrior decks just for like kicks and giggles on ladder or whatever,
Hmm.
and I have been thoroughly dumpstered a few times by some crafty totem shamans. So
Yeah, it gets out of hand if you let them have anything.
yeah,
They
shaman's
kind of
coming back.
spiral.
It'll
I
be
think
good.
so. It really feels good. And I play a lot of wilds. That's more of my main format, and play a lot
hmm
of shaman.
A lot of shaman and
A
wild.
lot of shaman, yeah.
Now let's talk a little bit about your team. So,
Mm.
how's it going? How have you been competing? I'll let you speak a little bit about that if you like.
Gotcha, yeah. So I think we've kind of found our place, where we like to be and what decks we like to play. It's kind of been clicking really hard this this split. Split one, we had a little bit of like, ooh, what should we be doing? A little confusion there, but we've all found our place in the team. And I think we cover a lot of different areas very well because we come from a lot of different stylish backgrounds of play styles.
So you play a lot of shaman,
Hmm.
but like your teammates play a lot of different things. So
Hmm.
like just like run me through, like, is there like somebody calling the shots when it's like, all right, I'm more comfortable when we're playing the penflinger paladin, or is it like,
Yeah,
what is like that dynamic there, like?
usually we go on what we've practiced the most that week,
Hmm.
and kind of where we're feeling what makes us just feel good. Because I think if you're enjoying the deck, you're gonna play it better. Got a nice. We usually split up between 2 or 3 people every week who's piloting, and you just gotta trust them. Put your heart in them because they're playing for the same reason as you. We want to just smash playoffs, so we're ready to win, and they're very excited to do that. So we've really, like when I talked about finding our place on the team, it's divided up nicely, and our comms have gotten really good, and our turns are just way smoother now.
Speaking of playoffs, I hate to do it, but I have to bring up the unfortunate ending to Split One's playoffs. Can you talk about that and how it's like how you guys took that and how now you're in Split Two and you've made the playoffs again? So is that maybe like motivating you to do better, or how did you feel about that?
Well, going into those playoffs, I already felt the meta was a little stale, and I think we were all getting to that point in the season where we're like, can we see something new? But we still wanted to put our best foot in. We ended up losing our first match, but completely sweeping losers bracket, which was crazy. We played a lot more games than people for a lot more time. Almost every game went to 5 games. It was actually had a lot of fun, but very
Hmm.
tired the next day, and where we lost to the same team. Just been having to get that mindset. Sometimes Hearthstone's Hearthstone, and you can't really play around some stuff,
Hmm.
which is fine.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing is sometimes
Hmm.
people will babbling book into polymorph and then you lose the game and
Hmm.
it's like, oh, nuts. Um,
Yeah.
so
Hmm.
without giving too much away,
Hmm.
do you guys have a strategy going into playoffs this weekend?
Well, I think we know what people are going to be playing. Just seeing how the meta's like formatting in the early days. Normally, you see a lot of like aggro, and that moves to control, which moves to combo, and it's that kind of cycle you have to play around. So we are going to make our best bets, knowing that that's the natural flow of the game when a new set comes out, and sorry, excuse me, really play our way around that. Um, that being said, like we're still looking at decks, but I think we're really close to narrowing it down.
So do you think it being so early in the expansion gives you any kind of advantage?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think myself personally, just because of my history with card games, like I used to just straight limited play. I also play wild, so I feel like I can adapt very well, and I know my teammates are learning the set really nicely too. So I feel like just with the time we were able to put in this week, we're going to be at a good spot. Hmm.
That's
We've
good.
been exploring a lot of options and learning a lot, um, and that's gonna just only help. Can't do anything bad there.
Are you excited for playoffs? Are you nervous? Are you
Oh, I'm pumped. I'm
pumped?
ready to get back at this.
Good, good,
Like
good. Yeah.
we were a little upset with Hearthstone being Hearthstone, but we're gonna try to turn that RNG in our favor this time.
Hmm. So this is the first time I think since the esports club has, like, since we transitioned from just being the League of Legends club to being the esports
Hmm.
club, that our Hearthstone team has had like three pretty consistently high legend players on it all at
Oh yeah,
once. So does that like sort of add any pressure to you, or
I
like?
yeah, I think people will see us as a threat going into the games. You can see ranks and everything. I'm
Hmm.
sitting at like comfortable. I think I'm 150 right now. So, and I know the other guys are pretty high up too. So that's just a little bit of intimidation can really send it our way, and that just means we get to play against better players all the time. So that's just even better practice.
That's good. That's a really good
Hmm.
way of looking at it. Thank you so much
Of
for being
course.
here. Give me a
Yeah.
few
No.
minutes of your time. This was a This was really fun interview. Thank you all so much for watching another one of our player spotlights. If you're interested in anything else the club is doing, you can join our Discord server at discord.gg/FSU Esports, or you can follow us on Twitter at esports at FSU.